How's it going, everybody? This is probably going to be the only video you're ever going to see from me on the topic of safety, and that's for a very good reason. You see, the internet is already full of people talking about safety information, everything from using push sticks and avoiding kickback, and using safety glasses, and when to use a respirator, how to use a respirator, what kind of respirator. There are a ton of people talking about different safety features of their shop, but the most important piece of safety infrastructure in your shop usually goes completely unnoticed in these conversations. And so today, I want to remedy that. This is not a first aid kit. Do not confuse this with a first aid kit. This is not designed to handle that splinter that you have in your finger. This is the kit that you run to when someone is screaming, oh my God, there's so much blood, oh my God. When you hear that, you want to run to a kit like this one. Now, everyone's kit is going to be a little bit different. Your kit may be different based on which machines you have, what the likely injuries are that you're going to sustain in your shop, and then you will assemble your kit accordingly. But I will show you what is inside mine. Now, the kit that I've assembled here can handle everything from arterial bleeding to lost or mangled fingers and all the way up to and including gunshot wounds, actually. This thing can handle wound packing. Now, like I said, your kit may be a little bit different, but let's go ahead and show you what I have in mine. Now, it's been about 2 years since I've actually opened this bag, and so everything in here should still be nice and clean. So I'm going to try and be careful with this. It doesn't matter exactly what kind of bag you choose for your kit, but it's important to know that when you go for your kit, there's a chance that you're only going to be able to use one hand. So you're going to want to be able to open up your kit with a single hand. It doesn't matter what kind of bag you choose, just make sure that you can fit all your stuff in here neatly so that it's manageable and that you can open it up with one hand. First of all, I have the trauma shears. These are pretty self-explanatory. If you have a piece of clothing that is getting in the way of you saving someone's life or your own life, this is really good for getting the clothing out of the way so that you can handle that. That's pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna leave that right there. And then I have some gauze. Now, these gauze are really good for things like wound packing. If you have, I'm not gonna explain the exact details of this, but basically if you have a wound that's open enough that you have to pack it with something, you need some sort of gauze to throw them in there. Technically, I should have more gauze than this, but this is what I have in my kit. I don't expect to have to use more than that. And then I also have an Israeli bandage. Israeli bandages are really good for lacerations that don't need a tourniquet. These can double as a tourniquet if you need them to. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all the specifics. I'll give you some resources at the end so that you can learn how to use all these things properly. But I keep an Israeli bandage in there. That is really good for adding pressure where you need pressure. And then I also have a tourniquet in here. Now this tourniquet, this is a CAT tourniquet, but you have to be really careful with these. Don't ever buy one of these things off of Amazon because almost all of the ones that you find on Amazon are fakes. And they have a tendency to break. And if you can imagine the time where you're going to be using this, do you really want this to break when you really need it the most? And especially because I only carry one of them. If this thing breaks, my only other option is the Israeli bandage. You don't, just trust me, you don't want this thing breaking on you while you're working with it. So don't buy the ones off of Amazon. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description to a place where you can buy these where you know they're not going to be fakes. I'll be doing that a little bit. And you definitely need to make sure that you know how to use these. You can't just throw this in a kit and just assume that you'll be able to use it. They're a little bit difficult to use unless you've used them previously. You have to know how they work before, you know, time is of the essence, let's say. So that goes there. And then I also use a little bit of this tape. Personally, I like to add this little bit of a flap here on the end, just so that, once again, if you only have one hand to use, you want to be able to get access to it. You don't want to have to be picking at tape while someone is bleeding out. And that's really what this kit is for. And that's honestly all I have in my kit. And I make sure that when I put this in here, everything is accessible with one hand. And then the trauma shears go there. I had my trauma shears upside down, apparently. They go like that. And so that's what I have in my kit. I only have these 5 items in my kit because I consider that to be what I need for my shop. Now, everyone's shop is going... That's on the wrong side. Everybody's shop is going to be different, and so everyone's going to want different things in their kit. Personally, I like to keep mine as streamlined as possible because I don't want to have to dig for things and lose things and try to get things out of the way. I like to keep mine nice and streamlined. But if there's anything you think my kit is missing, I'd be more than happy to listen to that in the comments. Let me know what you have in your kit. Let me know what you think I should add to my kit, and that way other people can go down to the comments and read those as well. I'd love to get your feedback on that. Thank you all for watching. Catch you all next time.